If you like, if you actually want to get involved in off grid, you really got to start doing a lot of research and paperwork, like types of ownership. Would you go towards trusts where people do pay a rent, but the rent goes straight into the trust? It gets recorded how much they put in, and they actually are part owners instead of just renters, right? So would you have a trust? Would you have groups? Would you have family units? Even with family units, you've got to check things like you've got to have people that are constantly in touch with taxation system and how you live, because let's say a family unit, as it's got benefits, it's also got a little bit of stress like divorces. You've also, with family units, you've got the problem government laws could change. You could get inheritance taxes. So by the time it gets to the point where you've got to hand it down to the kids, you're going to get smashed with a cost. Now, trusts will get you past that, right? But trusts, if you're going to sell that property, if you're going to sell a house under a family unit, you don't get paid. You don't have to pay capital gains tax. But if it's under a trust, you will. So as much as they've got benefits, there's things you've got to take into consideration when it comes to selling or whatever you do. All right. And there's different things you could do. Like, you need people with all sorts of skills, white collar, blue collar. If you're going to start off gridding, you're going to need both. White collar, if they want to have a break from being the white collar, they can nab on to the blue collars. Some don't enjoy that, so you just keep them on the paperwork. All right? They can tinker in the garden, keep the gardens thinking. The blue collars, they just keep doing what they're doing. One thing I really enjoyed, I liked seeing, was Wasteland. In America, it's a Wasteland weekend. It's like a Mad Max sort of theme, and so because you've got to work out a way to make money out of this. You have to. That's just the way. There's no such thing as these days. There's no such thing as pure off grid unless you want to move to the Amazon and then head off to the middle of the Amazon jungle, and that's off grid. Everything else, not really off grid. So you've got to work out a way of making money, whether it's make a theme farm, like you'd make something similar to Wasteland, play around with cars, tinker with cars, with suspensions, make a Mad Max style theme. You could head down the path of organic foods, which people are craving these days. So any form of entertainment online, make a video, get more professional. Like, my videos are pretty basic, but you'd get more professionally done stuff, comedy, fishing, whatever. Just make a ton of content. And the closer you are to the city, the better your internet connection's going to be. The further you are, you'll notice, like where we've got our farm, it's pretty inland, and the reception's down and out, so really bad reception. You'd have to go into the town next to a tower. But there's a lot of ways you could go about this. Like, I've been looking up on beers, alcohols, brewing. There's openings on so many different things, and I'm a big one for. You really got to watch when people deposit money and keep it up to your property going up or down. So you're still buying in at highs. I thought once you buy in, you stay at the low cost, but no, that's pretty unfair to, especially the original owners, investors in that property. So you don't buy in with a rent, or you do pay, but the money actually goes under your name, and that's that little chunk of the farm or house that you purchased. See, we're doing this already with where we've set up as a family unit. So my parents, myself, two kids, all right, both working. So, and it makes life, I'll tell you now, guys, in this day and age, makes life so much easier. We're running a bit short on work at the moment because everything's funded, everything's grouped. We're not stressing out about having a week or two off work at all. Makes a difference. Now, the larger you grow your tribe, if you own outright, and that's how you build, you'll notice things get a lot easier. All right? That's about all I've got to say now. All right, guys, take it easy. Chat soon.